my training contract at Clarion, I was incredibly excited, but also a little bit nervous. My biggest worry was that I was going into a trainee intake where quite a few of my colleagues had paralegal previously, so I felt being an external candidate straight from university with no paralegal experience that I could be quite behind them and feel that way work-wise. It simply wasn't the case whatsoever. All inductions were incredibly thorough, you were made to feel so welcome by everyone you met, all your teams and everyone involved, and any training was very much personalised towards you and what your needs were, so there was no need whatsoever to feel that way, and I never was made to feel that way.
Before I started my training contract, I felt really nervous. I'd never had any paralegal experience or even had any experience in a law office. So I was nervous about, whether that would affect or hinder my first seat. But as soon as I arrived, that nervousness went, and that's because everyone was so friendly and so helpful and so welcoming. It's such a good place to work because of that, so you don't have the nervousness about approaching anyone. So, you're often sat opposite a partner or, a legal director, like senior members of the team. But, after maybe a couple of weeks of nervousness about asking them anything, that soon goes away because, they're just wanting to help, and they're wanting to make sure you're getting the most out of your training. And I've never felt like I've asked someone a question and they haven't been, willing to help in that. And so it is a really positive environment, and especially for learning and the training contract.
I think before starting the training contract, it's something that you've been working for so long at this point. Even though I've been working at Clarion for nearly 2 years at that point, it was quite nerve-wracking. Going to be joining a new team, even though you might know those people, you've not necessarily done that type of work before. So I suppose if you can kind of get any sort of preparation beforehand, it certainly helps, and then definitely having a week or a few days where you can come in and work within those teams, it does allow you to get yourself a bit more settled.
Life as a trainee at Clarion is great fun. You get involved in absolutely everything. There's so many opportunities, both work-wise and extracurricular. So in terms of work-wise, you're not the trainee that's just stood at the photocopier, photocopying everything for the team, the typical junior member of the team stereotype. That's just not the case whatsoever. You work with partners, you work with NQs, you get such a variety of work and involvement. You get to go to client meetings, you get to speak to clients over the phone. You can literally get involved with all areas. It's brilliant. In terms of extracurricular, there's so many things you can do. There's a netball, football clubs, there's charity committees, social committees, and there's lots and lots of different networking things that you can go along to. Networking at Clarion isn't just for partners. We've got a wonderful Clarionet group where it's for more young junior members of the teams across Leeds, and you can get involved with so many events. It's given me the opportunity to meet so many people, and it's been a great learning curve.
You are encouraged to take charge and take the initiative to build your professional network from an early age. At a junior level, to invite all of our contacts to Clarionet's drinks events and seminars and get them involved in the Clarion world, so that they can network with our colleagues and network with other professionals in Leeds as well.
Life as a trainee, to sum it up in one word, is busy. I'm not from Leeds. I moved over from Lancashire, which isn't too far, but it's a new place, a new environment for me. So it was really good that Clarion did so many socials, and just to be able to go out and have drinks with people.
One of the real benefits of doing a training contract at Clarion is that Clarion have a real focus on commerciality, so you really get the opportunity to get under the skin of the businesses that you're advising, find out more about how they operate and how you can deliver services in a way that works for them. It's not just about the law, it's about knowing the businesses, and I find that really interesting. Because we are a full service law firm, you can get the opportunity to experience one of your seats with working with individuals, but also you can experience seats working for companies as well, so you do get a real depth and breadth of experience. I guess the second thing to mention is the level of responsibility that you're given. So you are given quite a high level of responsibility as a trainee, but that's not without the appropriate support, and so it really enables you to fulfill your potential.
If you were to ask me what life as a trainee was like, or what any sort of particular day as a trainee is like, it's hard to say. Every day is completely different. I find myself quite frequently writing a to-do list at the beginning of the day, and then some wacky and weird research topic comes into play. I've done research on all sorts of things, like a case about pizza boxes, all the way to at what point do you use a VAT rate of 5% over 20% in a construction dispute. There is no such thing as a standard day. I think that's the only way that you can describe a standard day in the life of a trainee. It is anything but.
A particular highlight for me of the training contract at Clarion is the high level of responsibility that the trainees get from an early stage. So for example, during my second seat in private client, I've been able to take advantage of it being a particularly busy period for the team to then get involved in the drafting of wills for clients and their lasting powers of attorney. This is a higher level of responsibility than I was expecting prior to joining Clarion, and it's been great to get involved at such an early stage. A real standout moment for me was in my time in private client, which was the second seat of my training contract. A deceased individual had left a pension account in a German bank, and many members of the team had tried to get in touch with the German bank to have the account closed and the proceeds transferred to Clarion so that we could administer the estate. But the bank had no one who could speak English. So I was able to use my background, which was a French and German degree, to get in touch with the bank directly by phone and by correspondence in German language. And from that we were able to then close the account and have the balance transferred to us, which was a great result for everyone and a real standout moment for me during the training contract.
Qualifying into the family team is a great opportunity for me to develop my skills in more the personal side of things, but doing a corporate seat really complements that, because the family team's clients are all very high value and high net worth individuals, which means there tends to be businesses involved when you're dividing assets and finances during divorces. So the corporate knowledge is just something that I would never have been able to get at a different firm. That really is the highlight of Clarion, and it really is a selling point.
When you try and pick out big moments, it's normally lots of little things that build up to big moments. So I think one of the ones that I quite enjoyed was when I was in the IP team. I've been working on getting a trademark registered for a company that was actually owned and run by someone I went to school with. Actually seeing the products on the shelves with the trademarks that we'd registered was quite rewarding.
My standout moment as a trainee at Clarion so far has got to be when I was in my final seat, which was corporate, and we completed a big deal and the client sent us a hamper of cakes from Betty's to say thank you, and it really made me feel like I was part of the client's team and that they appreciated all the hard work that we'd done, and I'd had quite a great level of responsibility on that deal as well, so it really felt like a big accomplishment.
The standout moment for me as a trainee has been the breadth of experience I've had. There is no firm in the area where you could have such a high calibre of work in both the personal and business side of things. Firms in Clarion's calibre tend to be more focused on business side of things, and if you're wanting a good personal service you tend to have to go more high street. So the opportunity for me to do a seat in corporate and banking, but then also do family and employment, has been invaluable.